time no visit. How's your mom-and-ums? Pretty good, I hear. That's good. So if you've been following along here, you know I was doing some utility work outside, getting ready to put heat in this thing for the winter. We got the gas line and the electrical conduit buried. There's no wires run yet, but we got the stuff in the ground that we needed to get in the ground before the weather gets bad. And as you can see behind me, I have a sub panel in the garage now. So we're gonna have 100 amp service out here, which means I got to start running some conduit. So if you follow that up and over and down, I got a welder outlet right here. So now I can run my welder on 220 when we get the wires routed. And then that's close to the garage door, so I can weld outside, inside, you know, less of a run if I get an extension cord for the welder, so I don't have to run it off the back wall or something silly. But I went ahead and I got some pegboard up. You can see I redid that whole bench area. And then I got the conduit and the gas line running up and over to where the heater is going to be back in that corner. I don't have a heater yet. This project is still just kind of ongoing, and it's on hold right now because we're over budget. Everything's got to be free from here on out. Just kidding. Just trying to budget out the money spending, we'll say. But I got the garage all put back together. You can see it got what used to be a big old storage shelf for parts and whatever that I didn't really dig into that much. Everything I wanted to keep is down there. Random storage on the bottom. Bench and everything's done. Got some more pegboard so I can be a little more organized, we'll say. But everything else kind of falling into place. I've been in this garage for 2 years and still doing work, getting her dialed in. But I'm taking a break from doing expensive utility type stuff. The weather has gotten shitty. I have not been able to get out to test. There is a race this weekend. I'm probably not going to go. It's too far of a drive. It's too much of a gamble with the weather. As you may know, my truck, I pretty much wrecked it when I built the motor and did the supercharger and everything. It tows my trailer awesome. Going to the local track, 45 minutes away, ooh, tows mint. But to drive 6 hours away down the freeway, you're lugging the trailer, it's just not great on gas. And honestly, we're in the garage of honesty here. What I would spend on gas is going to get me the heater that I want. So unfortunately, I'm not going to make probably the last race of the year. Doesn't mean I'm done running the bike. If the weather turns around right now, it's rainy, crappy, it's cold. We're just not in a great stretch of weather right now, so we're just hunkering down in the garage finding things to do. But if we get that Indian summer we're hoping for, another nice 65-degree Saturday, you goddamn right I'm going to go take that thing to the track and go run it, because everything is ready to go. This bike is ready to go, and actually, you smell that? Get a whiff. It was just running. I was warming it up, kind of heat cycle and stuff. That motor's that fresh. I'm still doing heat cycles on it. That thing is ready to rock. I got a couple little things I'm going to change up we'll do in this video, but I thought this would be kind of a quick catch you up video after the one hopefully you watched before this. So if you're watching this, it's probably going to be 2 videos out right quick in a row. But a couple little projects we're going to do on that just to get back in the swing of things. The new job has been quite the brain beater, and that's honestly where my focus has been, because there's a lot of learning going on, and it's one of those deals where I'm taking a couple steps back to go a bunch more steps forward. So it's probably a good thing that I did the job switch the time of year that I did, because I'm not really missing out on a ton of racing by not focusing on this real hard right now. But I do really miss racing it, and I want to get out more with it if I can this year. I don't want there to be a foot of snow on the ground and a foot of regret in my heart. So hopefully we can get out racing. But yeah, the new work, awesome, love it. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So tonight, or last night actually, I got the garage kind of cleaned up, started putting stuff away. Tonight is my night off. I am not focusing on anything work related. The garage is situated enough that I can still work in it. Everything's put away. We'll worry about getting the heater and finishing up the conduit. We got many more cold weekends coming up, and the heat will be in before we get the subarctic temperatures. But for now, let's have a little fun doing some fun shit on that, and let's get right. Let's get our chi or whatever fuck mental thing. Let's get right and do some motorcycle work. So first things first, you may notice some hose and some fittings. What I'm going to do is, if you've seen in one of the previous videos where I had the debris in the fuel system issue fucking with injectors and blah blah blah, I had a fuel filter come apart from like some deterioration. And I'm pretty sure I had the methanol was starting to eat the methanol safe lines and deteriorate those after whatever, 2 years has been on methanol now. But as you'll know, the amount of methanol that runs through a motor, you do end up with some meth in the oil. So what I'm going to do is, down here where it's kind of dark, my oil scavenge line, my scavenge pump at the bottom of the turbo, this is still just number 8 methanol safe, just braided hose. What I'm going to do is, on the bench up there is all the PTFE stuff. So just to play it safe, so I'm not putting, if this line starts to deteriorate, I'm not putting rubber debris into the oil system down here. So we're going to swap that out with a PTFE line, and then maybe even start it up, warm her up a little bit. She hasn't been running a little bit, and we need to get some fuel circulating. But for now, let's get working on doing that line quick. So I'm just going to take the line off entirely, and then we'll just match it up to the new stuff on the bench. I probably should put a pan under that. I don't know if my shirt rag is going to be enough to catch all that. Yeah, who cares? At this point, it's too late. The mess is made. So there, got our oil line off. Now we'll go make a new one. All right, so if you've never used a PTFE line before, it's basically like a Teflon lined type of line. Still has a steel braided reinforcing on the outside and protective braid on the outside, but there's no rubber in there, so that Teflon won't deteriorate and leave debris, or debris, as the French would say, maybe. I don't know, I'm not French. So yeah, I won't end up with a bunch of crap in your fuel line. So I'm going to do, this isn't rocket science. I do have leeway with my length on this hose, but we're going to get her as close as I can. Just going to use some painter's tape to mark my length. And we know roughly my hose is going to go into that fitting about that far, which will end up being this fitting. They all going about the same length. So we'll get her about where we want her. Come down here, and we'll just tape it off, and we'll add just a smidge. Some people cut these different types of cutting devices. I use my trusty new favorite toy, Harbor Freight cordless cutoff wheel, which has probably no horsepower, but it's just the right amount of RPM to do shit like this and not have an extra cord. That wasn't too bad of a fight. We'll get our tape off. And one thing, like, I don't know, this may be like kind of a duh kind of statement. One thing a lot of people forget is after you cut a fuel line, or you make any new fuel lines, to go ahead and clean them out. Most fuel system failures happen right after a whole new system is installed on like a fresh build, because all the lines are full of crap and they just wreak havoc on everything. We don't need that. So, let me get this piece of tape off here. So I'm going to do, I'm going to make this line up and then I'm going to flush it out. Real simple deal. And actually there's a little burr. I'm going to take off that line quick. Nothing fancy. See that? Debris. And now we are good to go. Oop, got a little straggler I'm going to cut off. That's better. Had one little wire of the braided strand that was sticking out, so just got rid of her. Simple hose assembly here. Go ahead and stick the nut on there. Then the ferrule goes over the Teflon but inside the braid. Just like that. And this is where you're going to poke all kinds of holes in your fingers, but if you take and just push it against your bench, give her a little wiggle. And then you can see barely it's bottomed out in there against the inside step. There's a little step in there. Bad lighting. But anyway, trust me, Teflon, it's in there. And then, where'd it go? Hold on. All I'm going to do now is take a just a little bit of oil, put it on the fitting where it's going to go in the Teflon. Just helps everything slide together a little easier. And then this is my favorite thread lube because I don't want to gall the aluminum all up and everything goes together nice and easy. It's thread lube from Carrillo. Just a little bit. Push this together, like so. Bring this down and start threading your nut on. And the fittings are reusable, the ferrules are not. So if you do PTFE lines, if you ever want to remake anything, you will have to get new ferrules. And it's not a bad idea to keep a bunch of whatever, if you got a bunch of number 6 or number 8 lines, just get a bunch of them, keep them laying around. So we'll get this tightened down and then we'll do the other one. So there we have our new number 8 PTFE oil scavenge line. And in case you're wondering, there is a visible size difference between regular braided and PTFE. See that? This is they're both number 8. The number 8 on the left is PTFE. It's the same size as a traditional number 6. So, I don't know. It's not quite as flexible. You don't want to kink this stuff, but it's pretty forgiving. You know, you can do what you need to do. But if you're tight on space for something or longevity reasons, PTFE all the way. So now let's get this back on the bike. So what you didn't see me do was go blow this line out with brake clean and then compressed air to get any of the debris out of it. So now the other part you might have noticed laying next to the line and fittings that I was working on is this feller. That's right. I bought titanium valve cover bolts. SAE Outlaw makes a bunch of stuff, and I have a ton of his parts on my bike, and everything's just freaking cool, reasonably priced. Everything shows up super fast. He's just awesome to deal with. These were on sale. I think he put up a post that were like $39.99. How could you pass that up? So I absolutely did not need these, but I got a boner for titanium. So if you've watched any of the past videos, I have a bunch of titanium hardware on the bike as it is. So why not a little more? And I think something like this, like I said, this is nothing. The bike is not going to go faster because of this. And I'm a 100% firm believer in ounces equal pounds. For me, something like this is strictly just a fit and finish kind of thing. I take pride in having stuff look kind of finished, and this is just one of those pieces that like adds to that look. It's just the final little detail and feeling of completion on something. So I'm gonna go ahead and say everybody should probably go order a set of those. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're gonna put on now. So like I said, it's a vacation night. We're just doing some simple things. We just did an oil line and whatever this video is gonna look like, about 37 seconds. But now we're gonna do valve cover bolts. So hang in there. So obviously the first thing I do is get my tank shell off, which is nothing special. And now I'm gonna, goddamn scratch. I'm gonna bring you guys in to get a little before and after kind of thing here. So here is DOS before. You can see, just never mind the smudgy fingerprints, but it's just regular old Suzuki valve cover bolts. So we are going to, I gotta check the charge tube off to get to one. You get that guy down there, see him? Oop, right there. So I'll pull the charge tube off quick, that ain't nothing. And then we'll just do 6 bolts quick. So I got the tube loose, laying off to the side. But now we'll just go in here and break these suckers out. This is going to be the most anticlimactic video you guys have ever watched. Why didn't you tell me I had my fat, stupid arm in the way? First one's going in and you guys can't even see it. Maybe you can. See that other right there? You can see it. There you have it. Some titanium hardware ready to rock. It looked good in there. I'm happy with that purchase. Let's see how it looks from this side. I like multiple angles. Good deal. So that's it done. We're gonna cap this back off, then I'm gonna fire it up and just let it warm up for a little bit. Well, that's gonna be a wrap on this little situation. Now, if you stuck through this video, you the real, as the kids would say, you're the real MPV, Eminem, MVP. You the real MVP. That's what I hear. So, yeah. Again, quick kind of just update video, hanging out in the garage, just finding something to do on a cold, rainy Wednesday night. So, thanks for sticking around. Again, I'm hoping we get a weather change. Otherwise, there might be more videos of just this type of stuff. We'll find some things to work on, and I got some garage upgrades going on still. So there's always something going on. We're just we're kind of up in the air with the weather as to what the content's going to be moving forward for a while. Could be a lot of jumping around, but if you're just enjoying the videos and it's something for you to watch while you're in your garage or sit at home drinking a beer in your recliner, farting in your shorts, whatever you like to do, watching videos, I'm glad you stick around and watch these. So we'll see you on the next one, whenever that might be.